are done with array and its methods.
Right. So we are done with arrays and its methods. So almost all the important things which we are going to require in the future, we are done with that. But this is not the only things about arrays. There are other things as well. I have also, like yesterday only, have shared the link of sorting. So it is your duty to go through sorting also. In short, what is sorting? Sorting is just like arranging the things, in a proper way. So I have an example here. So this sort method basically works on the you know alphabetical order. This is not much more suited for numerical. Like if the digit is single digit, then it works fine. But when it goes to two digit, three digit, then there's a problem. I have already shared the link in the group. You know, I have already told you it is not possible for me to cover up everything in the class, but the important things I do cover. But it is your duty to go through the doc and read it once. So how does sort works in arrays? This is what I have: an array of fruits consisting of banana, orange, apple, and mango. I want to sort this based on the alphabetical order. Like the apple A, the apple should come first, then it should come banana, then it should come orange or mango. You get the point. So if I want to arrange that in that proper sorted order, I will have to use the sort method. So I have used fruit dot sort. So what does this sort method does? It sorts the array in place. This method mutates the array and returns a reference of the same array. So it first of all it sorts the array and returns the reference of the same. So I have used that first, and if I want to store, what does this method returns? So it will return me the same array. It's saying that it will return me the same array but in the sorted form. So if I just console log this once, what I'm able to see that array has been sorted in the alphabetical order. Getting the point? So there's another method also, which is the reverse method. Okay, what does the reverse method do? It do nothing. It just reverse the array. If I have the banana, orange, apple, mango, so it only reverse the array. It will give me mango, apple, orange, banana. You can just see. If I want to see the output, it's just giving me the reverse. So what I can do using the reverse method, I can arrange the array in descending order. What do I mean by that? Like first of all, if I will use some numbers. For like first I will use some numbers so you will have a clear understanding. If I have this array 5 6 2 4, so what does my sort method do? It will arrange in ascending order. Okay, I will run this code and I'm getting the answer as 2 4 5 6, right? And what if I want to arrange this in a descending order? So I will just reverse this thing. I will first make it sorted and then I will reverse it. So what I will get 6 5 4 2. So this is like one use case of reverse method. Similarly, I can also do this um, on alpha, like on this letters also. I have the fruits array and I will first, what I will do, I will arrange it in a alphabetical order. So first apple will come, then banana will come, then orange will come, then mango will come, right? And I will, what I will do, I will reverse it. Okay, so it would be in a descending form. So what I'm getting, orange comes at the last, so it will come at the first, then mango, then banana and apple. So there are pretty much more methods you can explore similarly. Just go through the links I have shared. So it was the actually we were like we have planned to cover it yesterday, but as we had the holiday, so we don't have any option. So it's your duty now to cover it up. So today is the 14th session, date 14, right? 14 date, 14 session. So as I told, today we are going to cover up with Today we are going to cover up with, hello, objects, right? So I have already told it a number of times. अगर तुमको जावास्क्रिप्ट में मास्टरी करनी है तो you just need two topics. If you get the you know proper command on objects and events, you are done with like JavaScript. You are done. You can crack any interview. You can like be a master in JavaScript. Just you need to get the proper understanding of objects and events. So here's the most important topic we are starting from today onwards. Today we'll have the basic understanding of like what are objects, and how do we declare them, how do we access them, what are the number of ways we can declare an object, why they are so special. So we'll have some of the use cases and a basic understanding of objects in our today's session. So in JavaScript, almost everything is an object. See, in JavaScript, almost everything is an object. That's why they play a very important role. We saw that null is an object. We saw that functions are the object. We saw that arrays are the object. Object are of course object. We can also define boolean in form of object using new keyword. Similarly, was the case with numbers. Then we had string. Dates are also object. Math library is also an object. So if you want to see now, most of the things in JavaScript are object except the primitive data types, of course. So we saw that numbers, then we have boolean string, these are not objects. Okay, they have their separate data type, but we can declare them in form of object also using the constructive way, that is like using the new keyword, right? So there are different ways of creating a new object. So what are the different ways? First is literal way. Of course, we are going to use the most common way is this literal way. Everybody recommend the using the literal way only. We are also like in most of our example, we are going to use the literal way, but this is not the only way. We can use the new keyword also. Like, now to you might be familiar like how we declare using new keyword. We also have another method that is object.create. This is also one of the way to create a new object. Okay, similarly we have the object constructor way. So these are the like four different ways of creating objects. And a basic thing like important thing about JavaScript object is that they are mutable. As we saw about arrays are also mutable. Mutable means we can change the value, we can change the size, we can modify the array. Like once we have declared, we can even modify it in the future. So we can say that arrays and objects are mutable in JavaScript. So yeah, objects are mutable. They are addressed by the reference, not the. We are going to see the like example like in most of the like you thought now have the understanding what do we mean by if if an if a data type, or if like something is been addressed by its reference, if something is returning its reference. So we saw that if we change it always give me a reference address. So if I change the original value, then it will impact my it will change the value in both the cases. We have seen the example what is a referencing address. Don't worry, today if you are not able to recall, we are going to see one more example based on this. And an important thing, now you won't get it, but just to you know just remember this thing. What is that singleton object made with constructor? So what does it say that uh, always and whenever we create an object with constructor using new keyword, okay, so at that time a singleton object has been created. Just remember it, okay? And whenever we create the object using literals, a singleton object is not created, it won't be created. If this is important if in with perspective of interview. So yeah, so now we'll, without wasting any further time, we saw a lot many theory. So as we are not much interested in theory, but you should have like this much is clear to you all, no? This thing we are going to see one by one example also of all what we have discussed right now. So don't worry if something was like tough to get inside the head, we are going to see examples. Through examples, everything will be clear. So first of all, we will see how do we declare objects in JavaScript. So first, the first way of declaring objects in JavaScript is of course literal. The literal way of declaring object. So uh, how do we do that? Um, okay, so let's take first we will most in most of the cases we declare objects using const keyword. Okay, but it is not the like compulsion as if you want to modify it in the future, so you can declare it with let or var. So most of the cases we use const. So const, I will have to give an the name of the object. So let's suppose I give the name of the object as fruits. Okay, so fruits, and what does this, using the curly braces I have to define it. So I can, the one way is to define the uh, you know object is this. I have to use the curly braces, and inside that I have to define my object. So basically I will give you a gist of objects first. So we saw that in arrays, how were we doing it? We were doing the similar thing. Okay, we were giving a name to our array. So let's suppose my array name is r, and in that I was using the using the square brackets, I was specifying the values. I was directly specifying the values. Let's suppose um, array, like this array consists of my name, then what do I have? I have my roll number, let's suppose 36. I have my class 3. Yeah, I have my department as AIML. But what is the problem with this? The problem was I am not able to see like this value represents my name, or this 36 represents my roll number. Are you able to see that? No, there is nowhere it is mentioned that this Yadnyesh is my name. It is nowhere in mentioned that the 36 is my roll number. Okay, it could be 3 also, because it is not mentioned. What is this AIML? I don't know. So this was the main problem in Ireland. We were not able to name this. What is this Yatnesh actually? It is my name or it is my surname. What is this 36? Is it my year or is it like the roll number? So this is whenever we want to specify the name of the valued I have I have defined. So in that case, I can use object. So I have to specify the similar thing over using object. So how can I do that? I can specify the name. I can specify the name. So here I can say that my name is Yatnesh. Okay, so I can also specify that what was the second thing? I can specify that my roll number is, you know my roll number is 36. Then I can specify that uh, my department is AIML. Okay, so this is how you do that. Are you getting the point? So this is how we declare object inside a JavaScript. This is one of the way, but you are able to say that this is not the like this is not more a readable form of declaring an object. So I can similarly declare the same object. Like how can I declare it? I can use const and my details. So this seems to be a more you know right name to give to this object. So similarly, how can I declare the same object I will declare? Okay, the same to same object. What you can do, you can just press enter. This is your normal object. Okay, you can just press enter, and here you can define now, giving a proper spacing. You are able to make it in a more readable form. So I can just say my name is Yadnesh. Okay, what I can do, I can say that my roll number is 36, and what I can say next thing is my department is AIML. So you can see now it is making a bit more sense. Instead of like going up with this is quite a better way of writing an object in JavaScript. And you're getting the point, like what's the difference between like an array and in an object. Array, if I have to there is only one way to access this values, as this Yadnesh will be at zeroth access, so it will of course be, relate, we can relate it with 0, and this 36 it with 1. But here it is not the case. Here in object it is not the case, we have properly named the values. Okay, so it is said as name assignment also, named value pair. It is also said as named value pair. Why? Because here we have given the name and here we have assigned the value to it. So it is also said name value pair or key value pair. Okay. So I hope this thing is clear to you all. Then there's another way, as I told. This was the the literal way of declaring an object. There's another way of declaring the object as well. That is the object, the constructive way. So almost in every, like, whatever topics we have covered till date, almost in everything we saw the how do we create an object using new keyword. Okay. So I guess you should be able to recall now how can I declare an object using new keyword. So let's say I have const new object is equals to new object, and I'm done with declaring an object. Okay. So how, what we can do now, where to pass the values inside this parenthesis, I can declare my object. So let's suppose new object, this object consists of, like, this is a cars object. So I have a car, and I need to, what is the name of the car? Okay, so let's suppose it XUV, it is XUV 700. Okay, then what else the car have? It has its company. Okay, so company is like Mahindra. Okay, then what its model? So let's suppose the model is 2023. Then has airbags. So I want to check, like, whether the like car has the airbag. So yeah, it does have. And yeah, for now it's like, this is how we declare an object. It can contain a function also. It can contain a boolean value, a string, a number, a symbol. This object can contain anything. Okay, so like similar we saw in arrays, objects also can contain different values. So this is the another way of declaring an object in JavaScript. Are you getting the point? Till now everything is fine?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, and also there is another way, like the similar, like I can also, like, you were able to understand this, so you will you will understand this as well. So I have declared the object here. Okay, using the new keyword, and I can, like, if I don't want to pass the values directly from the parenthesis, what I can do is I can do it like this also, like new object dot name, and the name of the car was my x will be 700. So there is this way also, using the dot. Okay, so I'm accessing the my object, and in that I'm passing the key as name. So what I'm doing, new object dot name, so name will be my key. New object dot name is equals to XUV 700. I also want to pass the, like, let's suppose I want to pass the company. So what I can do, new object dot com company is equals to Mahindra. Okay, then I also want to pass, let's suppose, new object dot model is equals to 2023. So this is how we can pass the values. If I just console log this object, you can able to see all the values in the object. Okay, I want to see all the value, I just don't want to see the name. If I just console log this, you can see the object. Are you able to see it? Name, then company, then model. This is also one of the way you can pass the values. You can access the object. You can declare the object using new keyword. So now we will see how do we access the values. Okay, now we will see how do we access the values. So for that I will just move on to like this is one of the way of like passing the values, but more likely we will use this way, or like the literals way. This way we will use most of the times. So I will just comment this out, and we will move on to our first example. Okay, so the literals way. So how can I access the name? If I just want to access the name in my details construct, my details object, if I just want to access my name, so how can I do that? I can just say it as console.log, and in that, what is my what is the object name? It is my details. Okay, and I want to access what name, so I can just put a dot, and after dot I will say name. Okay, so this is how you access the name. So if I just want to print, so I can get the output as Yadnyesh. And if I just want to print my department, so I will just say department. So I can able to get department. If I just wanted to print like the roll number, so I can just say roll number, and here I am able to get my roll number. Okay, and if I just want to print the whole object, just give the name of the object, and here I will be able to get the complete object. Are you getting the point? What would be the type of object? Of course it should be like it should be object. So let's see if I'm getting it object or not. So yeah, I can able to get it as object. These are the basic things about object. How can we like, and you can even pass any new values to this object. So if I want to pass like uh, my details dot, I want to pass my which floor my department is my department is, so it is on 5th floor. Okay, I can say it as, I can give the name it as DEPT department floor. Okay, a proper name. So I'm passing the key as department floor and value as 5. So now I can see that if I want to console log the object, I can see that it will have another value below this department as department floor. So you can see that a new value has been added to the object, department floor equals to 5th. So this is how we like pass the values, access the object. Till now, like, are you able to get a basic understanding of like how do we declare an object and how do we pass values inside the object? Getting the point? Yeah, so this is how we do, how we deal with the object. Let's take another example, like, okay, so to get more familiar with object. So this time I will take another you know another object as like book. So okay, I have the object as book, so the book will have name. So let's suppose this book is Helen Keller. Helen Keller. So those who are from like have 10 CBSE board till 10, they would be able to recall which book is this, and the author of the book. Okay, for now the author of the book is suppose I don't know the author of the books. I will make anybody. Yeah, so Prasad is the author of the book. Then I have the price. We have the price for the book. Let's suppose it is 650. And then what do we have? So we can have like, we can also declare an array inside an object. So how can we do that? Like for this case, I will see in which languages the book is. So you can specify that in using an array. So it is in English, then it is in Hindi also, and then it is in Marathi. Okay? So you can declare an array also inside an object. So I'm getting the point. How do we do these things? Then I can also declare a function. So let's suppose I want to declare a function inside this my book object. So how can I do that? Let's suppose I want to get using a function, I want to get the all details of this book. So I will specify the name of this function as details. Okay, so details, and here I can declare the function as Okay, and inside that function what I want to do is I want to print the whole details of the book. So I can just say console.log. So as soon as this function will evoke, I will get the details of the book. So I can say that console.log, and I want to what details we could print. So this the name of the book is, and if I want to access directly the name, I don't want to give like explicitly here I don't want to give it like this because I have already given it. Here I have already mentioned the name. So using the this name variable name keyword, I can directly access that value. So how do we access it? As this function is inside the books object, so if I want to access this name keyword, how I can access it? Just remember, I will use the dollar sign, and inside that I will use this keyword, this dot name. Why this? This we will have a separate dedicated section on a session on this also. But for now, you just understand it. This keyword is referred to this name. Inside every value inside my book object, if I want to access any variable, if I want to access any value like name, author, price, language, I have to use this keyword. Okay, so this dot name refers to the name. Okay, so this will give me the name as Helen Keller. Okay, the name of the book is Helen Keller, and the author name author is this dot author. Okay, so it will give me the author name. Okay, I will use full stop here, and what I can say, the price of the book is, what I will just use view as order. So you can see uh, the price of the book is this dot price, so it will print the price. Okay, getting the point? So how can I, like, if I want to print the whole object now, I want to print the whole object, I will just console.log and just give me the whole object, my book object. So you can see that what does the uh, you know what does my object contain? It contains a name as Helen Keller, then author as Prasad, then price as 650, then we have passed in which languages this book is available. So it is available in English, Hindi, Marathi, and I have passed a detail and a function name details. So the function name is detail and it contains something inside the function. So I will one by one access one by one. We first access the complete object. Now I want to access one by one value. So what I want, if I want to access the name, I can just say it as book dot name. Okay, so I will get what? I will get the book name as Helen Keller. Okay, this is not the only way to access the values. I can also, there's another way. How? What is the another way? So I can say I can use this name. Okay, so this will also give me the, if I'm not wrong, yeah, this also gives me the similar output. Before this, what we have seen, we have used dot. Okay, but there is another way. What is the another way? We can access the values. What you have to do, you just have to remove this dot and give the name a square bracket. Similarly, we did in what this syntax we used in arrays, and we just want to make a modification that you just have to give the double inverted commas to your key pair, because these keys are also what, string only. This keys are also string in the background, as we are giving a you know as we are giving here, you are passing here double inverted commas to our values. Similarly, these keys are also stored in the string format only in the background. You can also, like, you can give it like this, you can also give it like this, but as such it is already making a string uh, uh, itself. So we don't actually explicitly give it a string. You can, like, if I just give it a string, there won't be any error. Say if I just wanted to print the name, I will successfully get the name as Helen Keller. So you are getting the point. So these are in background sense, these are also stored in format of string only. So this is one another way of, like, accessing the values. How I can access, if I want to access the price, so what I can do, I can just print the price. Okay, So it is giving me 650. So it is completely dependent on you what format you want to use. And if I just access price, so this is also another way. I will get the same output as 650. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
So yeah, so this was like a bit just about how do we access different ways of accessing values. And what else do we have? um, Name, yeah. Huh. The benefit of using, like, what is the benefit of using if we access the values through, in this way? I want to access, languages. If I want to access, if I'm using this syntax of accessing the values, these square brackets, the benefit of this is, like what what I have, author name. Okay, I have declared the key value as author name is equal to Prasad. And if I wanted to access this value, I want to access this author name of my object using dot. So how will I have to do that? Book dot author name. But if I try to access in this pattern, this will give me an error because there is a space in between this. So I cannot use this form, this way of accessing the values. Now the dot way of accessing the values I cannot use in this case. It will throw me an error. Whereas if I just use the square bracket wala syntax, so now it won't give me an error. Now it won't give me an error, and just remove this dot. So now you can successfully access the author name. It is giving me as Prasad. So in some cases, referring to this syntax is more comfortable, and it solves this problem. Okay. So in this case, I was not able to access this value. There is no way of accessing the value using dot keyword for this syntax. So in that case, my this syntax is more relatable to this. This syntax makes a more sense. So yeah, this is how we do access the values. But if I wanted to access this function, so what is the name of the function? It's details. So books dot details, and as this is a function, I will have to use parenthesis. So if I just console log this, so what I am getting it as, I am getting the what it is saying, what I did in that function. I did a console log. The name of the book is this. So I'm able to get it. The name of the book is, it is printing the name Helen Keller, and the author is, the author I am getting as undefined. So we make a mistake over here. Yeah. So we have modified the author, here we have modified the author name. So I will have to modify it here, over here also. If I just give it a name as, okay, so now it will run properly. If I will just run the code again, so it will give me the author name also. See, the name of the book is Helen Keller, and the author is Prasad. Okay, and the price is 650. So how this is how we access the functions also inside an object. Are you getting the point? So yeah, this is how we declare objects. And what else do we have? Till now everything is clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, so nextly we will see, we can also like modify the values. Okay, if I want to change the name, here I have the name as Helen Keller. I want to change the name. So how can I do it? I can just say book dot name is equals to, I want to say the name as something Abhishek. Okay, so I'm changing the name to Helen Keller to as Abhishek. So if I just console log my whole object, if I just console log the whole object, so I can see that my names would have been modified. So if I just console log, you can see that the Helen Keller has been changed to Abhishek. So this is how we modify the things. We can also use the delete. If I want to delete some value, I don't want this function. Okay, or let's suppose I don't want this price. I have changed the price, so I don't want this price. I want to delete the price. So I can just use the delete keyword, delete, and what you want to delete, book dot price. So if you will now console log, my object won't have the value as a value of price. You can see that, yeah, the price has been deleted, the name has been modified, but the price, you see there is no key value of price in this case. So delete is something, then you have, you can modify the name, you can console log. So this is how the thing goes in object. So let's move further. There's a one more, like how do we access? We saw there are two ways of accessing. One is the square bracket and one is the dot notation. Similarly, we can modify the, we saw like recently, just now we saw how if I want to change the name. So I was using book dot name is equals to Abhishek. Okay. So this is one of the way we saw, and we can also use the square brackets here. And if I just wanted to give it as, so this is also one of the way. If I just console log this, if I just console log my object, so you could see that my, my name would have changed. If I just console log this, you could see that my name has been changed. So this is also one of the way you can change the value. You're getting the point. So yeah, we saw this. So I guess a basic understanding of object would have been clear to you now. One more thing, according to your according to your with respect to your interview perspective, there's one question I got. So what if I want to specify an object inside this? So what if I want to specify a symbol? We saw a data type. Are you able to recall? In primitives, we have one data type as symbol. So if I want to specify a symbol inside this, object, so how can I do that? For that sake, I will have to specify a symbol outside my object first. So I have a sim1. Okay, sim1 is my symbol. The name of this symbol is sim1. And what I can do, that new symbol, and in that I will have to pass my symbol value, whatever value if I want to pass. Let's say now if I want to pass s1. Okay, my symbol value is s1 and I'm storing it at a unique value inside my symbol 1. But if I want, then I will have to pass it into inside my object. How can I just do that? Here I will pass this sim1, and I want to change the value as, now I want to change the value as s2. Let's suppose I'm changing the value as s2. So this is how you do it. But if you will see now, if you will do like this, it's giving me an error. Getting the point? Symbol is not a constructor, so you cannot use this new keyword here. And if I just rerun the code again, so it won't give me any error. So I have successfully defined a symbol inside my object. But if you will do this now, still you won't be getting qualified into the interview, because you just did a wrong way. What you did, I will show you. If I just console log, and if I just say type of sym1, I want to see that the type of this sym1. So how can I say that? Book dot, I just wanted to say the type of my symbol 1 inside the book. So I can see that it's getting string. I shouldn't get the this as string. I should get this as object. Sorry, I should get this as symbol. The data type of this should be symbol, but I'm not getting it as symbol. So why it is getting me this? Because if I want to access, or if I want to define any symbol inside an object, I will always have to use this syntax. I will always have to pass it in square brackets. You just remember it. In future we will like see more in depth. You just, if you don't understand, itself fine. If you are able to understand, just make a note over here. If I want to define any symbol inside an object, I will always have to use square brackets. And if I again, like if I'll just I will just console log the whole object. So if you'll just console log the whole object, you'll be able to see that, yes, see, so here it is specifying me, it is a symbol s1, and the value it is having is as s2. Are you getting the point? So yeah, this is how we do the things. um, So I guess till now a basic understanding of you know object you would have got. Like if you just practice it one, 2 to 3 times, more things will be clear to you. Then what do we have next? Um, okay, so till now everything is clear, guys. Hello, is my voice audible to you all?
Yes, okay.
I just lost the connection. Extremely sorry for that. Yeah, so where were we? I just share my screen. So till now everything is clear. Are you able to see the code? Are you able to see the VS code? So till now, I guess a basic understand. You got the basic understanding of object. Till now, anybody have any doubt? Any doubt, guys? Yeah. Okay. So what do we have else to see? So what if I want to, make this? It is already constant. But what if I had here let? Okay. Let's suppose I had here let. So I can modify this object. But what in case I don't want to modify? I want to freeze this complete object. So there is another way. We have the freeze method. So how do we have how can we use that? For that I will have to use first object dot freeze. Okay, and I will have to pass the name of the object. So this is how we do it. So if I like once I freeze this object, so I cannot modify it. Let's suppose I want to change the name now, and if I just pass the name as Abhishek, okay. Now if you will just console log my you know my book object, if I just console log the book object, so you can see that it is still Helen Keller. It won't be getting changed because we have freezed it. Yeah, we have freezed the object, so you won't be able to see the changes inside the my object. So yeah, this is how we do it. And what do we have? What if I want to hmm, let's suppose I want to pass any. I already have this object. Okay? I already have this function. If I delete this function for now, I want to pass another function into my object. So how can I do that? I can just I can use the and book and what is the function I want to pass, the name of the function. Let's suppose I want to pass the function as what the book will contain the function of book review. Okay? I want to pass the function as book review. So how can I just do that? So I will use this keyword. So my function name will be review. So here in this case, how it will be stored? It will be stored something like this: review and function, and in this will it will have the definition. This is how the function will be stored inside my object. I'm just passing it explicitly. I'm not directly passing into my object. I'm passing it separately. Getting the point? So where is the error I'm getting? Okay. So book dot review will be the name of my function, and here I can define my function. Okay. Here I can define my function inside this. What like if I just wanted to print the review of the book. So this book is very good. Don't read it. Okay. So can like this is how you declare a function and you pass it inside your object. And if I just wanted to console log this, how can I just console log? I will show you first logging the whole complete book. Will it be having the function or not? So you can see that it has got this function, okay? Anonymous function. Anonymous function, it doesn't have the name to say. So yeah, this is how. And if I just wanted to print this function, I want to print this function, how I can do that? Again, I will have to use console.log, and inside that book.review, and this is how you access the function. I can say that this book is very good, don't read it. And it is giving me an undefined. Why it is giving me an undefined? Because this function is not returning anything. That's why it is giving me undefined. If you just don't want that undefined should come, so you can use this return. And do I have to use parentheses? Okay, just we will console log, and you see that the undefined has gone. This book is very good and don't read it. This is how you declare functions inside the objects. So you are able to get a basic gist of objects today. What else we do have? If you have any difficulty, na guys, just you can just ask. Well, this is one of the most important topic. If more and more you practice, in the starting, let me tell you one thing. When I was doing objects in the starting, before 2 to 3 years, when I was going through your phase, objects was one of the toughest topic for me. I was not able to get familiar with the syntax, to understand it, to how do we define functions inside. It was very complicated for me. Why it was very complicated? Because I was not getting more familiar to it. I was not practicing it. The more you practice, the more you define different types of your own objects, the more you get familiar. The more you work on object, the more you wanted to my object should be this, it should have this function, it should have this array, it should have this type of values inside it. So more more you type it, the more you get familiar to it. That is the simple logic. So yeah, this is the case with objects. And I guess this is pretty much enough for today, as I just wanted to give you the introduction. I didn't wanted to go in depth of object, but still we saw a number of things. Like we saw how do we declare symbol inside the object, then we saw different ways of doing it, then we saw how can we pass function, how can we access the function, how can we delete the values, how can we modify the values. We saw like the basic definition also we saw. Yeah, one more thing, just thank you. You two guys don't make me remember. I told you I will give you like how, what does this mean? Objects are mutable, and they are addressed by the reference. So what does we mean by that? Let's suppose I have an object. Let object is equals to, I have this object and name is equals to Yadnyesh. Then I have roll number equals to 36, and I have department AIM. Okay, so I have this object. What is the name of the object? It is obj. Okay, and I have another object. Let's suppose another object is equal to object 2, and I'm passing object 1 inside my object 2. Okay, what I'm doing, I'm passing the complete object inside my object 2. So now I have two objects having similar values. If I will just console log this now, first I will console log object, and I will give it the name as object 1. Okay, so this is object 1, and I'm passing this complete object inside object 2. Okay, now I want to console log object 1 and object 2 both. I will show you what this is. Object 1 and object 2 contain, it should contain similar values. Okay, so it is containing similar object. I'm able to see object 1 and object 2 is having similar values. And what do you mean by, I'm saying, I guess I'm telling this fourth or the fifth time, what do we mean by object? Whenever any any data type reflects the address, it's reflecting the reference, it is giving me the reference. So at that time, what is the main conclusion from it you have to draw? What is the main conclusion you have to draw whenever this thing comes addressed by reference? Okay, so at that time you have to make this thing clear. Whenever I will make changes into the copy, it will reflect to my original value also. It will reflect to my original object also. What how can we just implement it in a practical way? If I make changes in object 2, let's suppose I make changes in object 2 dot name. I'm changing the name of the object 2 as uh, I am changing the object name to as Rutuj. Okay, so I'm changing inside my object 2, not in object 1. Okay, in object 2 I'm changing the name as Rutuj, and I will just console log object 2. I'm not console logging object 1. Okay, I'm just console logging object 2. So you can see that the name inside the object 2 has been changed to Rutuj. Did I change in object 2? I didn't change anything in object 2. But still, if I'm just console log object 1 now, if I just console log this object 1, I can say that in object 1 also the name has got changed. So this is the thing. Whenever in case of object, it always pass the reference. It doesn't pass the copy. It always give me the address. So that's why if I'm making the changes inside my copy, I will be going to change it. The values will also be going to change in my original values inside my original object. Okay, is that clear to you all? So this is how the sentence means. What was the sentence? Objects are mutable means we can change the values, and they are addressed by reference, not by value. So they are always addressed by their reference. They are always addressed by their, they always pass the address. So by that I mean to say, whenever we like we have this kind of example. So if we make changes into the copy, that will also be going to reflect in the original ones. Was that clear to you guys?
Yes.